I've often heard that you don't need to feel ready in order to do something that you might want to start, but I heavily disagree with that statement, and here's why. I used to have a huge phobia of cooking. Yeah, that's right, of cooking. I was terrified of burning myself because when I was a kid, I had my thighs burned, like 3-degree burn. Okay, it was awful. It was pure torture in the hospital. Anyway, it kind of developed this phobia of cooking. So, obviously, for a very long time, I tried or I wanted to learn to cook for myself, but I couldn't because I couldn't fucking get near a stove. It was really bad, really bad. I couldn't do anything that had to do with fire, even if it was, I don't know, electrical, nothing. And so I tried, even though I didn't feel ready, as many state, you don't have to feel ready, just do it. So I tried. I was like, well, I really want to learn to cook for myself, so I will do it anyway. So I went to the stove. I asked my mom to help me. I asked her to, to turn it on with a little help, and then I would continue, putting on the oil or the water to warm it up and try to cook. And it didn't end well. I had the willpower, I really wanted to. I started it, but I really started hyperventilating. I wanted to throw up and I couldn't get near it. It was impossible, like a barrier. I wanted to cry. Actually, I did cry. I literally had to leave the room and cry as I was hyperventilating and I nearly threw up. It was extremely bad, extremely bad. And every time I tried, it just had the same fucking end to it. I just ended up crying. I couldn't do it. I couldn't finish what I started. Even though I wanted to, like I really fucking wanted to. I was probably, I don't know, 16 years old or something, or even, I can remember, maybe even 18. But I was like at an age where everybody knows how to cook it, or at least, turn up a stove and fucking warm something up to eat, But I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that, and I wanted to, and I couldn't. And here's what I came up with my realization of, well, I disagree with the statement that you don't have to feel ready, just do it and you will see that everything will be fine. Now, maybe it is because I am talking about extreme things like phobias, but I still think it applies to everything. In my opinion, this applies to everything because a lot of people like to generalize things and say, well, everybody is the same, so you don't have to be in a certain mental space in order to do something, and it just works out. But it's not like that at all. In my opinion, from my experience, what really turns things in a positive outcome, and a positive outcome, I mean that what you are trying won't pile up as another negative or traumatizing experience, is a mental space that allows you to start or try that thing. So, very important, in my opinion, is your mental state. If you are not in the right mental state to start that thing that maybe you are content you keep on putting aside because you don't feel ready, it will turn out bad. It will turn out just to be another negative experience that makes you feel like shit, and it won't help with anything. Maybe it just puts more work, internal work, for you to do later on. So it makes absolutely no sense to try it when you don't feel ready again. And we are getting to the main point of feeling ready. So what do I think it is actually, uh, when do you when does it make sense to do something? Like, when is it the right time, or feeling ready, let's say? Well, it is very important to arrive at a certain mental state in your life where you feel that readiness, the readiness in the mental state. So it doesn't really have to do anything with the actual thing you want to do, but with your mental state. If your mental state feels very calm, but calm as in, it's like a switch that you just simply feel in your state that your psyche can handle it. You feel like you are open to it. You feel it is actually that feeling of being ready, but it is in your mental state. And your mind basically says, you know what? I have now, like, I'm afraid, I am terrified, but I have the courage right now. I feel like I am okay to be scared and do it. And your mental state here is very important, because your mental state will dictate the outcome of this experience, even if it's not perfect. If your mental state says, I'm safe, I'm ready, I'm okay, then that thing you are trying won't have a negative effect, even if it doesn't turn out maybe as you visualize it, whether negative or positive, like super positive or very negative, it doesn't matter. Maybe it's in the middle, but your mental state was already at a very rightful place that said I am open, and that openness actually allowed you to do that thing you were afraid of doing. And in that way you grow. So from that experience you grow, instead of maybe putting yourself even under more pressure, more anxiety, or more shame, maybe because you feel like I told you before about my experience where I cried. It didn't make me feel powerful, it didn't make me feel like, oh yeah, I tried. No, it made me feel like I want to fucking kick myself, because I felt stupid. I felt so stupid, you know. It doesn't help with anything. So why would you push yourself when your mental state is not where it has to be in order to try that thing? So do not ever beat yourself off because you see maybe somebody saying, oh well, you don't need to be ready, just do it. No. If you feel like inside you everything is screaming, don't do it. I'm not ready. I am scared. I'm so scared that you feel like you're child within, is crying for you to not do it, then don't do it. It's not the right time. Maybe focus on other things that you feel like are more like more safe zone, or like, yeah, I'm still scared, because it's not about not being scared at all. It's about, again, mental space of being open to being scared and do it anyway. But if you are not there, it makes no sense to try it at all in that specific time of your life, because that doesn't mean it will never happen. It just means in this moment of my time, of my life, I need to put my energy in something else that I can do and I can grow into. But maybe it's not that thing that at the moment doesn't feel right for me. So always listen to your intuition and what your heart tells you. Do not listen to somebody that maybe just generalizes things, because humans are very complex. They are not simple creatures. And it is more important to listen to what really is the deal with you, instead of a general thing, like a general scheme of how things are supposed to go around trying things outside your comfort zones or growing, etc. This is my opinion, and maybe it helped you to see something from a different perspective that will ultimately that will help you to see that there's nothing wrong with you, and you have all the time to actually grow into the things that at the moment may feel heavy on your shoulders or your heart. Much love to you.